And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Friday, October 21st. I am Josh Engleman, and I am here to break down an 11-game NBA slate. Yesterday was easy. Today, a little bit less easy. We got to go through a monster once again. So be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Those are the biggies for sure. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. That will help me out quite a bit. It's the only place you're going to get any updates to my sims as we get closer to lock. Let me know in the comments, who are your favorite plays for today? I know that's normally my contenders read, but I mean this sincerely. What are you looking at for today? What do you like? What do you dislike? I want to know. Let me know here. We'll talk a little bit about BetMGM in a second, but first, yesterday's slate. Yuck. Actually, I'm too zoomed in. Give me a second. There we go. Yesterday's slate did not go well. Too much Russ, 0 for 11 from the field. Too much Kendrick Nunn, 0 for 7, I believe. So the two pieces that I liked from the Lakers, 0 for a collective 18. That's not usually how it's going to go. I had enough Ivica Zubac. I had too much Joel Embiid. So ultimately, it didn't matter all that much. But I'll take what I can get. Not every day is going to be awesome. Definitely the worst day of the first three, for sure. But we're here. It's Friday. We got another slate to take a look at. Harden has been off to a good start. I didn't expect it. Not like this. I didn't expect him to look so good while Embiid looked so bad. That would be what I would say. It's not that I'm surprised that Harden is like fit or healthy, but I expected Embiid to be better. And those Sixers team, that they're just not. I mean, the Clippers game was pure nonsense. That's going to be playing the Clippers. That's going to be one of the hardest things you'll do all year because they're just going to have so many different options to go to. That one's going to be legit brutal. But we are here. We are here to break down basketball. Here's the deal. We're going to have to move relatively quickly through this slate. I got a hard out at 8 a.m. So we've got 90 minutes to make it through everything. We got 86 viewers in here right now, 33 likes. If you can, hit that like button. It helps out a ton. What I really need you to do, pay attention to the banners. And by the way, guys, I'm sure I look tired. I am very, very tired. These new 5 a.m. wake-ups to prep for this. It's been a bit since I've been doing this. So it's going to take a little to get my sea legs back under me. But I also have a smashing headache right now. So I'm hoping that once I start talking and getting into the thinking, I'll forget about the headache. No matter. We're here. No days off for this. Well, no days off except for Saturday and Sunday. But you guys know what I mean. BetMGM. Banner at the top of the screen. Banner at the bottom of the screen. I want you guys to get some free money, and this is the easiest way to do it. If you're in a legal betting state, if you're in a legal betting state and you haven't signed up at BetMGM yet, I'm talking to you guys. Click the link in the description of the video. Head on over to BetMGM. Make a deposit. I need you to then bet on, I know this is going to sound weird. This is an NBA show. You got to bet on an NHL money line pregame. So straight up, take a favorite if you want. Take the biggest favorite. If you just want to guarantee you get your profit back on that $10, do that. As long as there's a goal scored tonight, you'll get $200 in free bets from BetMGM. It's an absolute no-brainer. We've got premium Discord with all sorts of betting picks coming from everybody you've come to know and love. We've got Odds Shopper, the Odds Shopper YouTube channel. Tons of picks out there to help you once you're established at BetMGM. But for now, to do it, $10 on an NHL money line. That's what you need to do. Appreciate you, Jackie. I appreciate you. We'll be fine. I took some ibuprofen. My face looks puffy too. I mean, this is just a couple days of just grinding NBA hard. I've taken a sip of this already. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Not today. I can't lie to the people. It was necessary. It was necessary. It's a Friday. We'll get the sleep back over the weekend. We'll be back, but I do still want to cheers you guys. We'll just assume that I couldn't cheers you guys because the doors weren't open yet. I got my coffee. It's very necessary today. I hope it's less necessary for everybody else. But whether you've got a coffee, tea, water, beer, I'd be in for some hard stuff right now to give me that shot of energy, but maybe that's not the best idea in the world. You got a J, hit it. Whatever you need to do it. Coffee's here. Rise and grind is here, everybody. You guys know the drill. Cheers. Let's get it started. I wish that I had 10 more coffees sitting on my desk right now. The problem for today is going to be that my hard out at 8 o'clock is to leave this house and go to the gym. And I have a sneaky suspicion I'm not going to bring my A game today. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's change this stupid view. Get my dumb face off of here, all big and puffy and looking awful. There we go. In, boom, and boom. There we go. Now, let's talk basketball. First game up, Pelicans 6-point favorites in Charlotte, 230 total. This one should be pretty easy to figure out. Popcorn machine is fully updated, so we'll be able to look quickly at some of these guys. Not too much to dig into. I think New Orleans was pretty cut and dry. You know, we know what the starters were going to be. Alvarado, Trey Murphy, Nance. Najee Marshall playing was interesting. I didn't expect that, yet here we are. So I'm going to assume that Najee Marshall plays again today. They did not go to Jackson Hayes. Was he not available, actually? Or did he get a straight DMP CD? Jackson Hayes Q tag on Jackson Hayes. Let's pull that injury report up. That'll probably make things a little bit easier. All right, Pelicans. Jackson Hayes, questionable. UCL tear in the elbow. Oh, yeah, I forgot he tore his UCL. Oh, God, it's so hard to remember that when it's Jackson Hayes. All right, I'm going to assume that Jackson Hayes isn't playing then today. And I'm going to give those 14 minutes to Najee Marshall. Don't think it's going to matter all that much. We got Joval in. He played 30 minutes. This game was a blowout. Could have played way more than 30 minutes if it wasn't. Getting the... Oh, sorry, he played 26 minutes. I'm looking at Zion. But was set to play 30 minutes. So I'm pretty comfortable there. Zion played 30, staggering with CJ to play with the second units. That is something we'll want to remember. That's pretty good for Brandon Ingram because he's going to get this time without CJ, without Zion. So keep that in mind for this team. But they were all set. Ingram, I mean, this is a 3.5 minute chunk. They were all set to play like 34 minutes. So I don't feel crazy going 34 to CJ, 34 to Brandon Ingram. Was Herb Jones on that same path? Now, he was a little bit behind, so I like that 32. Joval for 30. Larry Nance at 18. Yeah, I don't have any changes that I need to make here. This is just what this team is going to be. Trey Murphy and Nance playing the most minutes. Yeah, this works for me. I don't have any changes to make for New Orleans. This is other than just whether or not Jackson Hayes plays or Najee Marshall plays. That's good. And it's a great matchup against Charlotte. I don't care what Charlotte did against the Spurs in opening night. Now, for this Hornets team, we are going to have to make some changes because they were a little bit different opening night than I was totally expecting. First things first, for the Hornets, Cody Martin got hurt. He is doubtful for this one. So right out of the gate, we know that we need to make some changes. So let's take Cody Martin out of there. Nick Richards was obviously a revelation as a backup center. JT Thor played a little bit less than I was expecting. James Bouknight was able to play, which is incredible for him and the nonsense that he was involved in. So yeah, this one was over pretty early. We didn't see a true closing lineup, and they went to 4 minutes of blowout run. So we were going to get 32, 33 minutes out of Hayward, call it 34 out of Rozier. Oubre not playing the rest of that second quarter is kind of interesting. I mean, these are scatter shot rotations, which is kind of annoying. He was drunk dribbling. Yeah, he probably was. Okay, so this is all really, really flat, but I also think it's pretty much what we had last time. I just need to get Book Night in here. Lucky him. So I've got, let's go 16 minutes to Book Night. We've got Rozier's minutes in. ESJ actually playing a little bit more than you would have expected. He was the second guy off the bench behind Jalen McDaniels. So I do need to give him a little bit of a bump as well. I'm going to take him up to 18 minutes. I think 30 for Oubre looks okay. I'm going to go to 32 on Gordon Hayward. That looks good to me. I got 8 minutes in for JT Thor, 24 for Plumlee. Probably need to get to a little bit more of Nick Richards. They're big fans of him, or at least Steve Clifford is a big fan of him. So I think that'll help. Larry, if you DoorDashed me a triple espresso, it would get here hours from now. This show would be over by the time it got here, that's for sure. So where do these 10 minutes need to go? Book Night, Thor, Richards, DSJ, Jalen McDaniels. McDaniels played 23 minutes. I guess he definitely needs a couple more. I'm going to take him up to 22. That's too many. Yeah, there's 22. And then I'm going to leave 5 minutes to spill over to Mark Williams just because I don't like this game. Okay, so game one. Wow, that one took me way too long. That's going to be a problem. I also have not downloaded salaries files. So I knew I was going to miss something this morning, guys. I am lacking. But we can fix this one pretty quickly. Let me download salary files. Oh, this is just going to be one of those days. So no strategy show for me today. I will have the contenders videos up once I get back from the gym. But yeah, no strategy show. I am on the deeper dive with Adam at 4:45 later tonight. So make sure you're tuned in for that. All right. Salaries have been obtained. I knew there was something that I didn't do this morning that I was supposed to do. Turns out that's that. All right, so that's one. DraftKings in. And we've got FanDuel in. Now we could actually get started and evaluate some of this slate. So there we go. Perfect. All right. So as I look at the Pels, I would say Joval for 7K might be my favorite option on the DK side, which isn't going to be helpful, assuming center prices are like they've been. There's just going to be 100 other options. So Ingram, McCollum, Jones stand out. It's going to be very hard for me to want to go to Zion early in this season. He's going to look really good. I think he's just a little overpriced. On the FanDuel side, Ingram looks the best here at 7,800. Again, I'd like Joval a lot at 6,900, but we're going to see a lot of it. But this Pelicans team is really going to mess up this Hornets defense. It's going to be bad tonight. I really like Pels giving 6 to Charlotte. Damn, that when that is empty, I'm going to be so bummed out. Yeah, there's not as much to like here for the Pelicans as I was expecting. Zion's just too hard to play because he's not going to play 36 minutes. We're going to need, if we want to get to Zion, we're going to need to get to Zion on slates where there's not 11 games. For now, I would say that there are no priorities from the Pelicans. I cannot say the same thing about Charlotte. Kelly Oubre, 5,600 on DraftKings, 5,100 on FanDuel. That's going to go down as one of the... I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the top 10 of contenders. I think Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward on DraftKings both look good. They look fine on FanDuel as well. Hayward only 5,800 on DK. So I actually do like the Hornets a little bit more than I like the Pels. I would say only Kelly Oubre is a true... This is a guy that you're going to see a lot in lineups. Rob, I don't have time to get up and go get more, man. By the time that gets... It's not just in a coffee pot. That's the problem. If I brewed a whole pot, I'd be okay. It's not so much that I even need more coffee. I just want more hot liquid that tastes like vanilla. All right, game number 1 in the books. Game number 2, San Antonio Spurs at the Indiana Pacers. Another tankathon game. 231 total. Spurs are 3-point dogs. Let's see if anything interesting happened from the San Antonio side. Actually, that was the one that I had open. I didn't even have to do anything. I think they played like a very normal expected rotation here. Okay, so Isaiah Roby was in the rotation, or was not in the rotation, but I did have him in. Who did I have out? No, I had 11. Okay. No, I had 10. And I didn't give... Man, I had Roby getting minutes. I must have took them away in my ladder update. So then I know exactly what I need to do here. Trey Jones, standard rotations. We want to pay close attention to this because I think this might be something Pop's doing, running basically 2 separate teams in a weird way. Trey Jones starting the first, second, third, fourth quarter. I don't think he was going to close this game ever. Like, I'd be surprised if Trey Jones was set to play this whole fourth quarter. But, like, it's possible they were set to come in here if this is still competitive. So I'm going to say this is going to be like 28 minutes to Trey Jones. Is that a crazy stance? No, I don't think it is. I don't think 30 is right. Not based on that first game. I'm thinking this is like 28 to Trey Jones, probably like 32 to Vassell, 34 to Keldon Johnson. Yeah, we're going to make some changes here. 28 here. Josh Primo is going to get up to 20 now. Jakob Poeltl can stand at 30. I'm going to take Zach Collins to 16. Sohan played 28. That seems like about what he's going to get. I'm going to leave that 26 because I don't think he's going to be all that playable anyway. McDermott playing 18 probably could take a couple minutes there. Although didn't play at all in the fourth quarter. Very easily could have picked up like 2 more minutes. So I think 18 feels right. 32 for Vassell, I like. 16 for Jay Rich, I like. I think Keldon Johnson has to be 34. He played about 30 minutes with no final rotation there. If this game's competitive, you have to assume Keldon Johnson plays 4 more minutes in the fourth quarter. So in a competitive matchup, I'm going 34 to Keldon Johnson. Keita Bates-Diop played 5 minutes and did not see the floor again, I believe. Yeah, minus 14 in those 5 minutes. I would not be surprised if he didn't even see the floor today. I'm going to take him down to 12 just in case. And I'm going to give it... I don't know. I'm just gonna scatter shot these guys. Now, I'll give 8 to Isaiah Roby because he won't show up then. Rates can all stay the same for San Antonio. I don't have any changes that I can make to these teams quite yet. So let's go to the Indiana side. This one's probably a little bit more tricky. We know that there's not going to be any Miles Turner here. Rolled his ankle on the ball boy's foot before the game, so he's going to be out for a week. We saw Terry Taylor get the spot start. I don't know if Terry Taylor gets the spot start here, but I mean, just because I don't know if they can go to... I don't think they can go to Terry Taylor today. I think they're going to go to Isaiah Jackson because... Or Goga or anybody else. They can't go to a lineup with Terry Taylor at center against Jakob Poeltl. I don't think, at least. Did Jackson get into like heavy foul trouble? Nope, not a foul there. Not a foul there. It didn't commit a foul and then didn't play the third quarter. Okay. Did he get hurt? I don't know. He's minus 13 and shitty. All right, Terry Taylor played 24 minutes, didn't play in the fourth quarter at all. Good luck figuring out this rotation. Jalen Smith, I know, picked up 2 quick ones. Took a weird rotation in the second quarter. Fouls never became an issue. Halliburton played 36 minutes. Makes sense. Chris Duarte, I know, got hurt late, but was probably only set to play like 24, 26 minutes. Mathurin got 28 minutes, was hot. Probably going to give him a little bit more. This is tricky. TJ McConnell, standard issue backup run. That seems fine. I'm going to give Terry Taylor 24 minutes now. I'm going to say Isaiah Jackson plays 20. I'll give Goga 4. O'Shea Brissett played a lot less than I was expecting. We'll go to 16. Jalen Smith. Now, this is the interesting one. He probably lost like 2 or 3 minutes. I think the second half will be a useful exercise here. 7 minutes for Jalen Smith in the third quarter, closed and played another 8. I think Jalen Smith, barring the foul trouble, is probably set for like 28 minutes. You could even make a case that it's 30. 15 minutes in the second half. That matters. You also got... I probably need a little bit more going to Buddy Hield. Now, I got Buddy Hield at 31. That's probably fine. Aaron Nesmith ended up playing a little bit more. I think that's only because of Chris Duarte. So I want to take that rotation from Nesmith, 6 minutes. It's going to take Duarte to 26. Nesmith, I think, can hold at 13. I can give one more minute to Goga. Game 2 in the books. One other thing I want to look at, because we're up to 652. I'm not moving nearly fast enough here, guys. 170 viewers, 63 likes. If you are here, please hit the thumbs up. It helps a ton. Spurs. Okay, lots to like here for the Spurs on DraftKings. Devin Vassell at 5,100 is going to be a thing again today. Shooting guard, small forward, price looks good. Jakob Poeltl, 6,200. I'm not going to mention every center, but pretty much every center is going to look good. If you're going to Keldon Johnson or Trey Jones, I think both of those things are fine. Trey Jones looks a little bit better on FanDuel, I think, even though he is $200 more expensive. But I would say Devin Vassell, DraftKings, best play in this spot for the Spurs. On the Pacers side, $5K Jalen Smith on DK, $5,300 Jalen Smith on FanDuel. That's the best play in this game. Terry Taylor on DK, 3,600. If he's playing 24 minutes, good value. Isaiah Jackson, 20 minutes, 3,800. Good value. Both of those guys, very realistic pay down options. If you want to go to Halliburton at 7,900, that's fine. I think he's probably just going to end up being like appropriately owned around 10%, but he is the better option there. I probably don't have Mathurin projected as aggressively as I should, but I think he's all right. Nothing too crazy on Mathurin, even though he had a big day. All right, we can load the pivot tables up now. Oh, already selected for 2. That's perfect. Couldn't have gone any better there. All right, so top 2 guys in Boom on FanDuel are Oubre and Jalen Smith. They're the only 2 guys over 30. That's going to be like a pretty good distinction for getting into the top 10 today. Jalen Smith on DraftKings, best play that we've looked at so far at 5K, 43% boom rate. I mean, he only needs to get 35 fantasy points. If he's playing 30 minutes, we're talking about 1.16 fantasy points per minute. Very, very, very attainable. Devin Vassell, Jakob Poeltl, Kelly Oubre, Tyrese Halliburton, all in the 30s on DraftKings. 2 games down. Chicago and Washington. Bulls going to be without Zach LaVine again in this one. Looks like he's coming back for the second one, or for the third game, rather. Let's go ahead and take a look at Chicago's rotation against Miami. Did not expect this output here, but That was what we got. So that was a 9-man rotation out of the Bulls. That's going to be aggressive minutes everywhere. Dosunmu played 36. Vooch played 33. Caruso played 30. DeRozan 36. Patrick Williams played 28. Surprisingly, they went to Dragic to close the final minute 47. Drummond straight backup. Actually, they did play Drummond. Oh, no, that's the wrong guy. Yeah, Drummond straight back up to Vooch. For a second, I thought Dosunmu was Vooch and that they played Drummond and Vooch alongside each other, but yeah, and Jalen Smith is questionable. The whole team goes tits. Like, I can't dig into every potential Q tag on an 11 gamer. Like Isaiah Jackson becomes the best play on the slate if Terry Taylor is out. Goga Batadze becomes a really good value play. That's the easiest way to say it. But those hypotheticals are too hard, especially at the beginning of the season like this. Tune into the deeper dive for that one. All right, so I got to give Dosunmu more minutes. That's for sure. 34. We'll go to 14 on Dragic, even though Dragic played 18 minutes. We'll see if we got to trim them somewhere else. Vooch, I have in for 32. I feel good there. 30 for Patrick Williams. He did play 28. Should have played 30. I have no reason to suspect he can't. Yeah, I think the rest of this looks okay. 30 for Caruso seems fine. Backup run there. Kobe White played 24. That's the only piece that's slowing me down here, but I don't have minutes to give him. Oh, yeah, I have 10 extra minutes going to Dalen Terry for reasons. Don't know why. So that'll help a little bit. That'll allow me to give a couple more minutes to Goran Dragic. That gets him up to 16, and now I can go a couple spillover minutes. We'll throw those to Derek Jones. Rates are all going to stay the same. These are updated. DeMar DeRozan, 35% usage rate. It's actually, it might even be like 36 when Levine and Lonzo are off the floor. We go to Washington for the Wizards. Denny, questionable with that right ankle sprain. I would not be surprised to see him sit. That is not something that I can put in here right now. We saw him get the start over Will Barton. That was not something that I expected. I can't imagine Will Barton was very happy with that output, but he did close. Who knows how that would have shook out? Monty Morris also didn't close. They closed with DeLon Wright. And did Monty Morris get hurt? Monty Morris was plus 17 in 21 minutes. Anybody watch the Wizards game? Why did DeLon Wright close over Monty Morris? If anybody watched that, let me know. So my assumption when we get there is it is Wisconsin's Johnny Davis. He's bad. I think Will Barton's going to end up starting here in Denny's place. I just don't think that I can project it like that. 32 minutes out of Porzingis, 34 out of Kuzma, 37 out of Beal. I am going to take Beal up to 35 just to try to save myself a little bit there. I mean, Monty Morris not playing the fourth quarter at all is really curious. So I am going to take his minutes down to 29 and bump DeLon right up to 19. Zinger in at 30 seems fine. Gafford in at 18 seems fine. Rui's minutes seem fine. I got Kuzma in at 32. That needs to be 34. He's going to play a lot. I could take away those fake Taj Gibson minutes. I have Will Barton in for 28 right now. I am going to cut that, but I expect Will Barton to start and play 30 minutes today, assuming Denny Avdia is not able to play. And at the very least, I think Will Barton is live to close over Denny Avdia. If they're just trying to get Will Barton as like a second unit creator alongside DeLon Wright, I think that makes sense. So game 3, Chicago Bulls. Look, DeRozan for 8,700 is a really nice price on DraftKings. He's not going to be a guy that I ever get to a ton, but I got him at 1.32 FanDuel points per minute in this spot. He's really good at shooting, and he's gonna gun. But it's all mid-range stuff, and that's you get a lot of variance in those sort of outputs. Only other guy that I would want to go to with any sort of regularity would be Vooch. I think Caruso and Dosunmu are both in play as value options on the FanDuel side. For the Wizards, not much here. I think Kuzma looks the best on DK, but I don't see a single priority coming out of Washington. And we'll be able to show that a little bit more here. Nothing really jumping to the top of this table. Nobody's really crossing that 30% threshold. So I don't love the Chicago game. Mikey, Wiz do not need a point guard. Monty Morris is a very solid and capable NBA point guard. I mean, do you want to upgrade Monty Morris? Yeah, but they also don't have a best player. If Bradley Beal is your best player, you're not going to win a lot. As evidenced by the fact that the Wizards don't win a lot. So they need a lot more than that. It's a team of really good depth pieces and 2 number 2s. That's kind of the problem. Well, Monty Morris is good. Don't sleep on him. Orlando at Atlanta. The Orlando Magic are 8.5-point dogs in Atlanta. 222 total. I know Orlando dumped that opener to Detroit. We got the late scratch news on Cole Anthony for an illness. So we have to assume that Cole Anthony is playing. He is questionable with that illness. I'm treating him like he's playing. Have to. So that's going to complicate matters. I'm going to gut this entire rotation quickly. I'm going to assume that we get back to what we were expecting here. 30 minutes from Cole Anthony. What did we get out of Franz? Wagner played 34 minutes, and I assume that's a commonplace thing here. I'm going to go 32 just to be a little bit safer, just because they're going to have to work in Anthony's minutes. It might have just been a creation thing on the second unit. We're going to need Wendell Carter, who played 32 minutes. I think that's going to be a standard. So we're going to go to 32 on Wendell Carter, 16 on Mo Bamba. And Caro played 35 minutes. I think 34 seems safe for him moving forward. Going to be a guy that I also don't get to all that frequently out of the gate, assuming his salaries get kind of weird. And then Jalen Suggs, I assume, is now going to be they were going to Ross over Suggs before tip-off, before we got the Anthony news. So I'm going to assume that it's Ross. And I'm going to give Terrence Ross 28 minutes. Jalen Suggs is going to be what I would imagine is mostly the backup point guard, and then also run second unit type stuff. So maybe 24. RJ Hampton, maybe 14. Chuma Okeke, the last guy. Oh, RJ Hampton was not a part of this rotation. Go away, Hampton. You aren't playing. Caleb Houston actually was that guy. Interesting. Now, I assume that's because of the Cole Anthony stuff, but they're clearly not going to RJ Hampton. And Caleb Houston was the first guy off the bench. He came in for Franz. And Bol played 18 minutes. All right. We're going to go 14 here to Bol. 14 here to Caleb Houston. 16 to Chuma. And that's going to be our rotation for this Orlando Magic team. On the Atlanta side, this one is probably really easy. I just don't know if they played anybody weird on the back end. 7:05. All right. Things are going okay so far. Hoping that I can get to where I need to be. This show is just going to die at the end if it doesn't. All right. Standard rotations. Standard 9-man rotation. Jalen Johnson, Aaron Holiday, Onyeka Okongwu, Justin Holiday. Heavy minutes for the starters. In a matchup that shouldn't have gotten heavy minutes. DeJounte played 38. I'm not going to go that way. Trey played 38. I'm not going to go that way, but I am going to put them both at 36. Collins, big minutes. Hunter, big minutes. Capella and Okongwu splitting the center minutes. We know what we're doing here. I'm going to take these AJ Griffin minutes away. We're going to take Trey up to 36. Aaron Holiday gets 12. We're going to take DeJounte to 36. DeAndre Hunter played 32, leaving him in at 32. 28 Capella, 20 Okongwu. Perfect. John Collins, 34 minutes. So I'm going to go 32 to John Collins. I need to give Aaron Holiday 6 more minutes. So that's the 9-man rotation right there. It does leave me a little bit time. Justin Holiday played 18. I can get him to 18. And now I have 4 extra minutes laying around. I will give those as spillover to AJ Griffin. I have no rate changes that I want to make. So Orlando, Atlanta, pretty quick one here. Atlanta's a very easy rotation right now when Bogdan isn't healthy. For Orlando, there's probably something there for Paolo, but 7,400 and 6,800, there's no way I'm going there. I don't think that I'm going to anything from Orlando if Cole Anthony is back. This is just lineup filler. Cole Anthony's probably the best option. Wendell Carter looks good as a center. I don't really like Orlando. On the Atlanta side, I think Trae Young, 9,700 on DraftKings is the best option. I have him a little bit ahead of DeJounte Murray. On FanDuel, to me, it's not close. Murray, 9,500. Trae Young, 8,700. Trae Young on FanDuel, one of my favorite plays. I had 40% of him on his opening night. I'm going to be going straight back to him again. I think Collins and Capella both look okay. Just nothing too crazy. As we look at the chart, which I realize I could probably add a column and move this over to the center of the screen. Yeah, there we go. And then we can make this a little bit bigger. So, yeah, Trae Young at the top of the FanDuel table right now, 8,700. He's likely to be my number one play in terms of like ceiling and value. And you see Trae got to 6th on DraftKings as well. So that looks pretty good. But again, like not that much else to really worry about. Let's see. I have a way to highlight this a little bit better. The question then becomes, I don't have the time to do that now, but I'll have it set up moving forward. More coffee. Also, 95 likes, 214 viewers, 95 likes. Okay, I haven't asked. Guys, I appreciate you being here. I love every single one of you that come to the process in the morning. You guys need to hit that like button. You are slacking. 125 should just happen. That's where we need to be. Headache's starting to go away. Coffee's starting to course through the veins. We're picking things up here. Let's go to game number 5. Toronto Raptors, Brooklyn Nets. What a weird game this is going to be. Because the Toronto offense is really bad in the half court. Brooklyn's defense is just really bad in general. Brooklyn's offense against Toronto could be interesting. This could be a bad spot for Brooklyn. I don't really have any major thoughts, SMP. Like, I'm not a fan. I don't know enough. I like the fit a lot in Orlando. I mean, he's a ultra talented shot creating big. I'm very intrigued if that can get to the highest level or he can like top out at a number 2. But I think there's a really legitimate shot creating ceiling there. I like the combo of him and Franz. I like Orlando a lot. Like, I'm a big Wendell Carter guy. He had a massive year last year. He gets slept on a lot. Chicago fucked that trade up so bad. They would be better off. Like, if they didn't make that trade, they would just have Wendell Carter and multiple first-round picks. Correct me if I'm wrong. Franz Wagner is one of those picks. Is that the right pick? Did Franz come over in that trade? Did that trade? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong draft pick. But I feel like Franz Wagner was the pick that ultimately was one of the picks that went over in that deal. Maybe I'm. Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. So imagine if Chicago just had Franz Wagner and Wendell Carter instead of Vooch. How much better that team would be. Like if they could go Lonzo if he's healthy, Levine, DeRozan, Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter Jr. That team's way better than what they have right now. And they'd still have another first-round pick coming. And I shit all over that trade the moment it happened. I've got the receipts on Twitter to prove it. I don't have time to litigate that right now. We've got 50 minutes to go. Raptors here. Chris Boucher, questionable. Interesting. So is Birch. I don't think those guys are going to play today. I think we're going to see it look a little bit more. I mean, sure, Wendell Carter is a different player, but he was just a young player continuing to grow. We can't act like the Orlando Magic are some sort of like young player growth factory. They've crushed young players regularly. It's not like that's a developmental haven. So it's hard to like just look at it being like, oh, that's probably an Orlando thing, because then you'd kind of wonder why every other draft pick hasn't popped. I mean, I guess I could just like I could pop 14 minutes here to Boucher pretty quickly and not have to worry about it. Thad Young played. Do we think Thad Young is not going to play today because Boucher would be back? And Kem Birch? Is that happening? Where's Toronto? Because the matchup against Cleveland's different. Okay, so Thad Young was the last guy here. Oh, yeah, Christian Koloko is playing. I totally forgot about that. And I don't have him in the model yet. So let's get him in. That will make this a little bit easier. Yeah, I'm guessing Thad's not going to play. Once again, I'm going to be confused by that. But that'll let me get to 18 minutes on Boucher. I'll give 12 minutes to Christian Koloko. I don't think I need to make any other changes here, though. Maybe a couple less minutes for Precious coming off the bench. Played 18. Take him to 20. Yeah, we'll do something like that. Vooch is a tough one, man. So talented offensively. Bulls just shit the bed on that. All right, let's go to Brooklyn. I don't think we have any weird news for Brooklyn, and I don't think that they did anything crazy in their rotations either. Joe Harris is probable? Well, that's going to be a wild change. Now, I don't think Joe Harris is going out there and playing a ton of minutes because he has not been healthy for a very long time. I did not know he was probable. Okay, so I'm guessing like Edmund Sumner doesn't play now, or Cam Thomas might not play. Okay, so I'm going to give Joe Harris 20 minutes. Where can we take those minutes from? Cam Thomas I'm just going to get rid of right out of the gate. I've got Patty Mills in for 24. Mills played 22. Definitely not going to play any more than that. So let's go. We got 35 in for Kyrie. What did they end up playing? Durant played 31. They both came off the floor. So like 35. Man, Kyrie was set to play even more than that. I'm going to go to 36 on Kyrie. I'm going to stick with 35 on Durant. Claxton looks fine. Day'Ron Sharpe looks fine. I'm going to pull Markieff Morris's minutes for a second. I think Royce O'Neal's minutes look fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they went to like a 10-man rotation, but it seems like Markieff Morris isn't going to be a part of that at all. Edmund Sumner is just the guy that I need to add here. I think he's going to be a part of the rotation. Whoop, gotta be lower? Yeah, gotta be lower. Edmund, Sumner, Brooklyn. Yeah, there we go. We'll get him 12 minutes. Now I'm just missing like 8. So let's give it to Cam Thomas, call it a 10-man rotation. No rate changes for Brooklyn. We know what we're doing there. Welcome back, Joe Harris. Joe Harris is like the key to this team, as ridiculous as that sounds, because a lineup of Kyrie, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, I want to see that play against the best teams. But Ben Simmons, you need some work. Alrighty. Toronto Raptors. Play any one of the starters. It's the same message that I had all of last year. Siakam, Van Vliet, Trent, Anunoby, Barnes. You want to play any one of those guys in any lineup, it's fine. If you prioritize any one of them, I think that's a mistake. They're just like, all of the starters are always functionally good options. Especially against Brooklyn, who's going to have a below average defense this season. Speaking of Brooklyn, if I'm playing anybody here, it's probably Ben Simmons. 6,500 for Ben Simmons on DraftKings. That's a really, really, really good price for him. I know it looks shitty. 8,600 for Kyrie on FanDuel also looks pretty good. But there are no priorities in this game. If I add game 5 in and refresh this, Ben Simmons is 7th on FanDuel. Probably won't hold and will be outside the top 10 as we get there. You know, Siakam gets to 9 on DraftKings. It's just not a priority spot. 232 viewers, 120 likes. Love you guys. I do want to remind you quickly, Hardwood is the promo code. You can see it in chat. 10 days of Stokastic Plus Platinum for just $10. Covers everything, not just NBA. You'll get all of the NBA projections, ownership, boom bust tool, all that good stuff. NFL, you'll have that for this Sunday and for all the showdowns for the next 10 days. MMA, PGA, rest of baseball for 10 days. Golf, I said PGA. You know what I mean. Every sport that exists. Hardwood is the promo code. $10 for 10 days. Moving good here. Game 6, Boston, Miami. A team in Boston that looked really, really... First of all, Boston getting Philly and Miami in the first 2 games. Brutal schedule start. 2, Miami looked like shit in that first game, losing to Chicago. Offense was terrible. 10th percentile offensive performance against a Bulls team that is likely a bottom 10 defense if Lonzo Ball can't come back. And if Alex Caruso happens to get hurt, going to be a terrible defense no matter how much magic they try to get out of Billy Donovan. So for the Celtics, this should be like pretty simple. This is a team that's not going to deviate all that much from a rotation standpoint. I don't think that I need to make a single change to this rotation other than maybe giving Marcus Smart a little bit more time. Oh, I'm missing somebody somewhere. Let's look at that rotation for Boston from the opener. Where's Boston hiding? Who am I missing? Oh yeah, I'm missing Noah Vonleh. Why he's not on my sheet, I don't know. I wouldn't have projected him for anything real last time, but I got him now. Oh, son of a bee sting. I gotta open this up. We're gonna turn Mo Harkless into Noah Vonleh, Boston. Let's resort this bad boy. Refilter this bad boy. And now we can get back to Boston, where Noah Vonleh is the backup center, obviously. So let's take the Peyton Pritchard minutes away. And we'll take Blake Griffin down to 10 minutes. 9 minutes. We'll take Noah Vonleh up to 10 minutes. Perfect. Now I really don't think that I need to make any changes. Although Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum playing 38 minutes apiece probably means that I need to make Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown play 36 minutes apiece. So We're going to go 36, 35. We'll take 2 more away from Sam Hauser. Barely played. Marcus Smart, 36 minutes. I'm taking Marcus Smart to 34, actually. There we go. Boston rotation done. Easy team to project, as is Miami. This one's not all that complicated either. Lowry played a little bit more than we were expecting, but I mean, it's Lowry, it's Hero. Duncan Robinson played a little bit less. I'm going to give Hero 1 additional minute. I'm going to give Lowry 1 additional minute. Max Strus is going to need a couple extra minutes because Nikola Jovic didn't play. 33 minutes for Bam, 15 for Dedmon, 28 for Caleb Martin, 34 for Jimmy. How many minutes did Jimmy Butler play in this ass game against the Chicago Bulls? Jimmy Butler played 36. We're going to take Jimmy Butler up to 35. Spill over to Jovic. We good. Boston Celtics. Kind of like Toronto. No priorities. I think Tatum looks really good on DraftKings at 8,800. He is just underpriced on DraftKings. 8,200 for Jaylen Brown also looks good. Marcus Smart, 5,300 on DraftKings looks good. None of these guys are priorities, but you probably need like 10% of all of them. So like you should have a lot of representation from Boston, but no one guy is popping out more than the other. On the Miami side, that's not the same case. I said it on 2 nights ago. I'm going to say it again here, and I'm going to do it again. Bam Adebayo for 7,100 is wildly underpriced. He is absolutely the guy that I want to go to here. My favorite play on Miami, not close. Tyler Hero would be second, 6,300 on DK. Point guard, shooting guard eligibility as well. I like them both on FanDuel. It's just a little bit more muted, but Bam, once again, is a fantastic play. And you can see it here. Number 1 play right now on DraftKings. The biggest combination, Bam Adebayo and Jalen Smith. Those are 2 guys you want to get to on DK. Bam jumps to the 4 spot on FanDuel as well. Tyler Hero is 6. Tyler Hero is also 4th on DraftKings. So Bam and Hero, priorities for me across both sites. All right, we have 5 games to go. We've got 38 minutes to do it. I think we can get this done. We're going to run those crunches right at the edge of it all. All right, Detroit, 6.5 point dogs, 217 total against the Knicks. This is a bad game. Nothing we need to know really from an injury perspective. We didn't have Quentin Grimes in the opener. We don't have Isaiah Livers in the opener. So I think we're going to be okay here. I got Jaden Ivey in for 30 minutes. I had a bunch of Jaden Ivey in the opener. That felt good. I don't know how many minutes these guys played. So let's go back and take a look at that. Jaden Ivey played 32 minutes. Standard rotation for Ivey, 35 to Cade. 26 to Beef Stew came in a little bit later. They went to Jalen Duren because he was playing so well. I like that. This is just 2 separate teams. It's the starters playing 32-ish minutes with Cade playing a little bit more. Boyan was obviously hot too. And then the bench of Hayes, Duren, Knox, Corey Joseph, Hamidou Diallo. All righty. So we're going to take those 12 minutes from Braxton Key, give them to Kevin Knox. I'm going to leave 30 minutes for Ivy, 18 for Corey Joseph. I'm going to go to 20 on Killian Hayes, 34 on Cade, 12 to Diallo, 12 to Knox, 32 to Bay. I actually kind of want to get to 32 on Boyan. I got Beef Stew in for 28. Duren in for 18. I'm going to make that 28-20. 2 minutes left over. Should they go to Boyan? Should that be 33? Probably should. And then I'll give Diallo 1 more minute. Detroit minutes, very easy. Yeah, I like this Detroit team. I didn't expect Kevin Knox to do anything. Well, I expected Kevin Knox to get minutes. I just assumed they'd be in like China. Although that's sort of like Detroit, right? Yeah, I'm feeling better. Let's get it. New York Knicks. Cam Reddish playing a lot more in the opener than anybody was really expecting, I'm sure. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10-man rotation. Nothing too weird. Obviously, this went to OT, so we need to be aware there. And Mitchell Robinson was in foul trouble. That's why Isaiah Hartenstein played 40 minutes. Otherwise, it's 36 for Brunson, but he was only going to play 31. Randall played 34 and was out then. So yeah, I think 34 for Brunson seems okay. I don't think I have any real changes that I need to make here. The only guy that didn't play a lot that was weird was Derrick Rose. So I'm going to say that he plays 16. I'm going to give 4 more minutes here to Cam Reddish. That gets him up to 12. I definitely think that we're more likely to get like a 26-22 split at center, or maybe even like 25-23. I'm going to go 25-23. Isaiah Hartenstein's just really good. Yeah, Fournier played 33 minutes, but like 28 in regulation. I got him at 28, so that's the Knicks. Easy one. Easy one. We got through this one quite quickly. On the Pistons side, the Knicks are just like a solid basketball team. They have no upside at all. It's crazy. All right, best play on Detroit, at least from a DK perspective, very clearly $7,500 Cade. Big believer there. If you want to go to Bay or Boyan, I think it's fine on both sites. No real priorities from Detroit. And this should be no surprise. No real priorities from the Knicks either. Best guy you can get to on DraftKings is probably Randall at 8,400. Hartenstein for 4,200 as a power forward eligible guy on FanDuel. That's kind of sneaky. We all know that Mitchell Robinson is prone to foul trouble, and we just saw that benefit for Hartenstein getting 40 minutes. Now, I don't think he's going to get 40, but if there's a little bit of foul trouble on Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein plays like 24 minutes, I mean, he's a 1.15, 1.2, something like that fantasy point per minute guy. At 4,200, you're only looking for 31 to hit a boom. If he can like 35 fantasy points in 24 minutes, if that breaks the best way possible for him, 1.45 isn't nuts. I really like Hartenstein here as a backup on FanDuel because of the power forward eligibility. If it was just center, it'd be different. But you can roster him differently. That's a much more interesting value. I love that I did the target score calculation like it's not on my sheet already, too. Real smart, Josh. All right. 4 to go. Appreciate you guys being here and bearing with me. Memphis Grizzlies, 5.5-point favorites in Houston. This is a great spot for the Grizz. I think everybody knows that. Dylan Brooks is doubtful. Everything else is still just out. Daishan Nix out, or is questionable for Houston. Don't think that's going to matter. Still no Jayshawn Tate. We know we're going to get a ton of Morant. We know Tyus will be the backup. 32 minutes out of Bane. I know he was having some issues at the end of the game and needed to come off the floor for a bit. He's not on the injury report, so I'm going to treat it like it's fine. I mean, he played crazy rotations. Played 33 minutes or so in regulation, so I think that's fine. Conchar played about 28 minutes in regulation. Santi Aldama played a lot of minutes. I'm going to take Laravia's minutes out. I'm going to take Roddy's minutes out. I want to handle everybody else that I know first. So Tillman, basically the straight backup to Steven Adams. Adams played 30 minutes in regulation, and then Tillman played 16. So I'm going to go to 28 on Adams. I am going to need to let my dog in the bedroom with my wife right now. Give me 1 second. All right, we're back. That was easy. So let's start here. Santi Aldama is clearly playing starters minutes and big starters minutes. I'm going to go to 32. We'll see what it looks like, but it could be more. It could very easily be more. Konchar's rotation needs to be 28. That's good there. Now I have 27 minutes to split between David Roddy and Jake LaRavia. I mean, that couldn't be easier. Done. Memphis done. They have to look good in this spot. I'd be shocked if they don't. And then we got to go to Houston. This Houston team starting Bruno Fernando at center. I don't think that that's crazy. People freaking out about it. 10-man rotation. I think it's the exact... I had 11 in here. Did I give spillover minutes to somebody? Oh, to Knicks, who's questionable. Okay. We'll treat it like a 10-man rotation. Kevin Porter in for 33 minutes. Josh Christopher as the backup. Jalen Green in for 33 minutes. We got 24 out of Şengün. I'm going to 24-24 split. Actually, I'm going 25-23 on Bruno Fernando and Şengün. Bruno Fernando played 25 minutes. No reason to suspect that's not happening. 25-23, Bruno and Şengün. Kenyon Martin played 22 minutes. Closed over Eric Gordon for most of it, which is interesting. So we definitely need to get him up to 20. There's no way around that one. Jabari Smith played very standard 32 minutes. I got him in for 30 right now. Garrison Matthews played 14. I got him in for 10. Eric Gordon's minutes are going to have to change here. Although he did play 29 minutes, even without that sort of little closing run. I see why that happened. Yeah, I'm going to stick to 28. Was it Tari Eason that played a little bit less? Oh, I still have 7 minutes to go. Let's go 14 to Garrison Matthews. Eason's minutes look fine. I'll hit Daishan Knicks with the 3 spillovers. Memphis, Houston. Looking good. All right, Grizzlies. All right, Grizzlies are more of a FanDuel thing, but Morant, Bane, Aldama, Adams all look really good on DK. They're like higher-end filler, but Ja is 10-1. Ja Morant is 9,400 on FanDuel. Might be the best play. A shit ton of him and Trae Young seems very real. 4,300 for Aldama at power forward. Probably going to be my most exposed player today, assuming the ownership doesn't get crazy. And I don't have any problem going to $6,300 Bane either. I think Konchar for 4,100 looks great. The Memphis Grizzlies are set up to be played aggressively on FanDuel. As we look at Houston, Jalen Green, Kevin Porter, both 30% plus boom guys on DK. Get to them both. Porter on FanDuel as well, over that 30% mark. I think you can get to Bruno Fernando for 4,400 as a value center. He's 4,500 and gets the power forward eligibility on FanDuel. That looks good. You want to take a flyer on Şengün? I think it's reasonable. I just don't trust it if he's not starting. Great game. This is one of the better ones we've gotten from like lots of options stance. I like that a lot. But as I refresh this, check it out. Wait, this isn't right. Did I miss an ad somewhere? Yeah, Memphis Houston is 8. I was like, where is all of the guys that I just said were great plays? Here they are. So, yeah, look at this. Aldama, top of the heap on FanDuel now. Ja Morant, second. You also get Trae, Kelly Oubre, Jalen Smith, Bane. That is sort of my top 10 core right there. Aldama and Morant going to fight it out for that number 1 spot. On the DK side, it's still Bam and Jalen Smith at the top. But you see Kevin Porter gets to the 3 spot. That looks really good to me. FanDuel, though, top 2 plays are Grizzlies. 275 viewers in here right now, 142 likes. If we can get up to 175, I'd feel pretty good for the rest of the day. Let's keep it moving. 3 more to go here. I think we're going to be all right. Utah and Minnesota, revenge game. This is going to be one of the weirdest games on the slate. because half of Utah's team used to be the Timberwolves. We saw weird minutes out of Utah, but I want to say this right now, and I wish I would have said it on opening night, and I didn't. But because they haven't gotten rid of everybody yet, Utah's offense is really good from a starting perspective. Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson, Kelly Olynyk, Jared Vanderbilt, Lauri Markkanen, even Colin Sexton worked into that. That's a lot of offensive talent. Mike Conley's still a really good, smart, regular season point guard. Jordan Clarkson knows how to get his own buckets. Kelly Olynyk as a stretch five, I think everybody understands how that's going to work. Lauri Markkanen should and could be able to shoot the ball. Jared Vanderbilt as a rim runner dunker. Colin Sexton as a guy that you could swap in for Clarkson 1-to-1. Like, offensively, it's going to be hard for a lot of teams to keep up with that. They should get bludgeoned defensively. But from an offensive side, this team is real until they start cutting off parts of this team. So they went to a 10-man rotation with the guys you would expect. And it was competitive. So we saw, I mean, it wasn't even competitive at the end. Honestly, they were able to get a minute out of the bench. Conley played 30 minutes plus, honestly. We got Sexton coming off the bench, playing in short bursts, 22 minutes. I think that's where we want to be. I know that for Clarkson, we got about 28 minutes. That's where I want to be. Actually, I'm probably going to go to 30. That's what he was trending to. Would have thought we got more Malik Beasley, but we didn't. 24 minutes is okay. That's where I have him. Markkanen in for 32 makes perfect sense. Jared Vanderbilt, did he get into foul trouble? 2, 3, 5, foul out. Yeah, okay. So as long as he doesn't foul out, he's going to play more than 18 minutes. So I'm okay with the 26 that I have him in here for right now. Rudy Gay did play. Talen Horton-Tucker played, but not a lot. I've got 3 minutes left over. Walker Kessler doubled. Looked really good in 23 minutes. So we only got, that's 2 fouls on Olynyk. 3, 4. Foul trouble on Olynyk as well. Probably the reason we got a bit more Walker Kessler. People are going to overreact to that if I had to guess. And then I'll just throw 3 minutes to Nickeil Alexander-Walker as spillover. So that's Utah. Now we'll go to Minnesota. Revenge narrative alert, I assume. I mean, he's going to smash this Minnesota team. Yakta, great. I did call it? Well, good. That makes me feel better. I didn't think that I said it out loud. But if you remember it, I'll call it true. 34 for Gobert, 35 for Towns, McDaniels. Okay, so standard starter run with Kyle Anderson being the biggest bench piece. 32, 34 on Edwards, sure. 33, 33. I'm happy with all of this. This is the same rotation that I gave them. There's no changes here. Oh, yeah, Naz Reid didn't play, right? Yeah, so it wasn't Naz Reid. It was Bryn Forbes and more Prince, I guess. Slow-mo to 21. We'll take Prince up to 16. Maybe I do want to give these guys. We'll take Towns to 34. Could play the most minutes. Could probably give Russell an extra minute. I'm just going to take Bryn Forbes to 10. It's not like he's going to show up. All right, Minnesota, Utah. Utah Jazz. Yeek. Do not play most of the Jazz on Utah. That's not good. I don't even have it. Like, Kelly Olynyk to me at 4,800 probably gets slept on because of that foul trouble. The Ghost, what up, man? Mike Conley, FanDuel, 5,400. That's actually a good price. He's a bit of a priority, as is Olynyk. I think Olynyk, people are going to project Kelly Olynyk incorrectly based on that foul trouble in the first one. He can play 28 minutes today, and you should jam him at 4,800. Be aware of that. On the Minnesota side, Edwards, Towns, Russell. If you want to go to Gobert, very reasonable. No priorities here, though. I actually thought that it would look a little bit better. They don't. Just a lot of mouths to feed in that starting lineup, at least. Oh, I got to give McDaniels more minutes. What am I doing? That's got to be 31. There we go. Still not all that interesting. Don't really like this game all that much. It's more sneaky than anything else. Oh, I added too many there. I forgot there's only 11 games. There we go. Yeah, like Mike Conley's 9th on FanDuel. Best you could really talk about here. 2 to go. Time is not really of the essence any longer, which is helpful. Denver Nuggets, Golden State Warriors. This is going to be a tough one for Denver, given the way that they looked against Utah. Really need to rebound here going against the defending champs. As we look at it, Jamal Murray, questionable. I assume we're just going to see that a lot. I'm not going to read too much into that, assuming he plays and is just limited like he had been. He played 26 minutes. That's, 28 seems like what they're going to be shooting for here. Didn't play the final minute and a half. That would have took him to 27 and a half. 34 out of Aaron Gordon, 34 out of Porter, 34 out of Jokic, 34 out of KCP. All of that seems pretty fine. I'm going to go to 32 on KCP. Cut Reed down a minute. 34 for Jokic is here. 32 for Michael Porter Jr. is here. I'm going to go 32 to Aaron Gordon as well. Now I just need to cut a couple minutes. But yeah, I'm expecting Murray to play if he's questionable. Until he doesn't, I'm expecting him to. DeAndre Jordan, they need to cut that dude from the rotation ASAP. If they're not playing Zeke Naji, trade him. You're being dumb. Nobody needs more Jeff Green in their lives. But DeAndre Jordan's going to get one rotation and get played clean off the floor in this one. So be ready for that. Bruce Brown played 21 minutes. I got him in for 20, so that seems okay. Devon Reed, second guy off the bench, didn't play nearly as much as you would have expected. They did go to a little bit of Ish Smith. Ish obviously going to get a lot of playing time as backup run, I'm guessing, if we end up not seeing Jamal. Now on the Golden State side, your guess is as good as mine what this team is going to do most nights. Where are they hiding? Oh yeah, they played opening night. Looney getting a foul trouble there? No, just standard weird run. Steph played 32. Clay and Draymond, I got to cut their minutes pretty dramatically. That's for sure. I'm going to go 26 to Clay. I have Draymond in for 28. I'll go 26 to Dre as well. I can't go too much more on Looney. He's just not going to play like that. Jordan Poole, I got in for 29. That seems about right. Wiseman played 16. Seems good. JaMychal Green was the guy that played a little bit more than I was expecting. Moody played quite a bit less than I was expecting. So we're going to take Moody down to 10. We're going to take JaMychal Green up to 17. DiVincenzo, I thought he played a little bit more. I just played the entire fourth quarter. That makes sense. A lot of J names on the bench. I don't have anything that I really want to change here. I just don't want anybody to pop up and be like an aggressively good play. So that's 40. Let's just look at it quickly. We'll see where we're at, because that's really how we want to feel. Denver, clearly you can play Nikola Jokic anywhere. 11-2 on DraftKings, 11-3 on FanDuel. Michael Porter Jr., 26% boom on DK at 5,400. That's your best Nuggets play. And then on FanDuel, it might actually be KCP as a good point per dollar option. Not a lot to like here for Denver, and obviously a very difficult matchup. On the Golden State side, I wouldn't play anybody other than Jordan Poole. I don't know how you go to Curry, to Wiggins. I don't know how you play these guys. I really don't. Doesn't seem feasible to me. Even if I try to be like pretty realistic, I don't know how you go to anything for Golden State. Maybe a little 10K Curry, but I don't see it here. I don't know how you play Golden State. And finally, and guys, thank you so much for bearing with me. I feel very different right now than I did at 6:30. I'm not going to lie. I feel fantastic. And you guys are the shot of life that I needed. So thank you for that. 290 people here, 160 likes. I can't even ask you guys again. You've just been fantastic. So thank you for being here. Feels good. Let's close out this final game and then run some crunches. Phoenix Suns taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Suns are 4-point favorites, 224 total. As we look at the injury report, obviously no Jay Crowder not with the team. On the Blazers side, no other news. So let's take a look at this Phoenix rotation. That's a team that I didn't really pay too much attention to on opening night. I don't know why. Bridges and Booker played the entire first quarter. Then they staggered that next rotation. Jock Landale, second guy off the bench, along with Torrey Craig and Cam Payne. Obviously, Damian Lee was the guy that got it done in the fourth quarter. Cam Johnson got hurt, right? Or had to come off. Yeah, okay. Thought so. So this should be relatively easy. Jock Landale being before Bismack Biyombo is interesting. And being ahead of Dario Saric, who played 2 minutes, also kind of wild to me. So I'm going to say 12 minutes to Jock Landale, 32 to DeAndre Ayton. Ayton actually played 30 because of foul trouble. So 32 seems fine. I can't go to 32 on... I mean, I guess I can go to 32 on Cam Johnson. 35 on Bridges. I mean, this is a guy that he played 41 minutes. Yeah, this has to be 36. I forgot how many minutes he played last year. Damian Lee in for 13. Josh Okogie was not that guy initially. Cam Payne in for 16. Torrey Craig. Who else am I missing? I mean, Craig barely played. They just played extra dudes. Biyombo only played because of foul trouble for sure. And I think Damian Lee only played because of Cam Johnson cramping. At least that much. Chris Paul not closing is crazy. So let's do... Who am I missing? Where are all these minutes not going right now? I mean, I guess I still got to give Dario Saric 8 minutes. It's a weird team. I don't think we're going to be liking much coming out of Phoenix here other than maybe Booker or Bridges. On the Portland side, this was a team I had a bunch of. I had a lot of Anthony Simons. I had a lot of Dame. That was fine. They went 9-man rotation. So we'll dig into that. But monster minutes out of Simons, Hart, Grant, Lillard. They went to Justice Winslow to close over Nurkic. We need to be very, very aware of that. Probably less needed in this type of matchup. So Eubanks, Winslow, Sharp, and Little. Keon Johnson didn't play. That's insane to me. I got Lillard in for 35. Seems fine. I got Simons in for 33. I think that needs to be 34. He's going to pop like crazy. Shaedon Sharp played 16 minutes. I will give him those 16 minutes. Josh Hart played 38 minutes. Definitely taking him up to 35 as well. Justice Winslow If he's able to close, he played 26 minutes. That guy just needs way more minutes. So I'm going to take him up to 23. I got Nas Little in for 19, played quite a bit less. So we're going to have to knock that back a bit. Drew Eubanks as the backup center. Totally reasonable at 17 minutes, I think. Jeremy Grant playing 36. I think he's got to go to 35 as well. We'll take those from Little. And that's going to be your Blazers. 9-man rotation. All right, Phoenix Suns. DeAndre Ayton, 6,600 on DraftKings looks okay. This team looks a little bit better than I was expecting, but you can only go to the starters. Bridges, Booker, Johnson, Ayton, Paul. No priorities. And then on the Portland side, save here, by the way. I really like Jeremy Grant, 6K on DraftKings. He's a 30% boom guy. He's fine on FanDuel. I like Josh Hart, 30% boom guy. I like Anthony Simons. I like Nurk a little bit. A little bit more pessimistic on Dame on DraftKings at 9,500. Pay attention to Dame's ownership on FanDuel. He's 8K. That is not the correct price tag for Damian Lillard. I don't care what he looks like. Dame needs 50 fantasy points to go off here. There's no reason that can't happen. When you shoot like that, like, all bets are off for a Dame on an 8K day. Really, really like getting there. But what we really got to talk about is the fact that we done. Let's run some crunches. Still got my crunches up from yesterday. Let's go to FanDuel and figure out what we like. I don't have a great feel for this slate. Maybe I will later. Highest projected guy is Nikola Jokic. On FanDuel, it is. Ja Morant second. Ja Morant is going to pop like crazy here. All right, first crunch. You guys know what it is. Cash crunch on FanDuel. Optimal lineups are. Whew. All right, optimal on FanDuel, 349.11. So the optimal by like 0.2 of a point. Ja Morant, Trae Young, D'Angelo Russell, Desmond Bane, Tyler Hero, Kelly Oubre, Bam Adebayo, Santi Aldama, Jalen Smith. Love it. I love that lineup. I like every piece of it. I'm not surprised to see a single name in that list. To me, that's a no-brainer. If you want to swap out anything, you can swap out Russell and Jalen Smith for Isaiah Hartenstein and Tyrese Halliburton. Wouldn't have a problem with that either. That's a really nice lineup. I like every one of those plays. Love the Morant-Trae Young combo. All right, power rankings. On FanDuel. Man, that's a lot of Ben Simmons. We're looking good here. My watch charged? Watch is charged. I don't know how I'm going to get through this workout and then come here and record the damn Contenders videos, but got to do the work for the people, you know? All right. FanDuel Power Rankings, Ja Morant at the top of the list. Trae Young, a close second. And then we're going to round out the bottom of the top 10. Kevin Porter Jr., Cade Cunningham, Pascal Siakam, Butler, Aldama, Halliburton, Edwards, and Scotty Barnes. But I want to be clear here. To me, Ja Morant, Trae Young, perfect plays for today on FanDuel. And then we go to DK to close out this process show. Here we go. Now, I expect this one to look a little bit different. There's a big gap in pricing here between these two sites. We've got optimal lineup, 296.03. It's the optimal by 0.28. Trae Young, Tyler Hero, Devin Vassell, Terry Taylor, Jakob Poeltl, KPJ, Jalen Smith, Bam Adebayo. All that looks pretty obvious to me. Jakob Poeltl, probably not someone that I'm like super likely to get in a cash lineup. That would be the easy spot to swap out, but every other piece of this makes a ton of sense. Terry Taylor at 3,600, assuming he starts again. If he doesn't start and they do make it Isaiah Jackson because of the matchup, but it's San Antonio. They might not give a shit. So I don't think anything's that crazy there in that lineup. The second best version gets you what? What's the switch there? Oh, Jakob Poeltl out. And Tyler Hero in. Okay. That makes sense. Now that ain't right. Trey. Hero. Yeah, I'm wrong. Vassell. Taylor. Jakob Poeltl out. Bam. KPJ. Jalen. Poeltl for... Why can't I figure this out? Oh, it's Jakob Poeltl for Jalen Green. Okay. Whew. Thanks, Jackie. I'm dumb. Maybe I'm not feeling as good as I thought I was. All right. Power rankings on DK, and then we got to get out of here, folks. I appreciate you guys being here. We're going to hit my mark, 8 o'clock, basically on the dot. I just hop in the car. Yeah, kickstart. It wasn't that easy. It's the color. The red colors was what was throwing it off to me. 175. Getting to 300 viewers is so awesome in the morning, man. I love this stuff. Remember, guys, we're not going to have this show on Saturdays and Sundays. At some point in time, this guy needs to sleep in. It's not happening this weekend. We got Liverpool early Saturday. I'll be up for the Sunday NFL show to start. I will still be doing that one. It's the only NFL content I've got at this point. But Monday's process show, that's when we'll be back with this. Jalen Smith, top of the list on DK for today. Anthony Simons, too. I think I'm probably going to be in the minority there. I'll be interested to talk to Adam about that on the deeper dive later. KPJ, Devin Vassell, Kelly Oubre, Jeremy Grant is 6. Jalen Green, Josh Hart, Bam Adebayo, 7, 8, 9. Tyler Hero rounding it out. Whoo! Alrighty, boys and girls. There we go. Banner. First week of the process is in the books. We did 4 straight days. I love it. I love being here. I love doing this show. I wish I could do it every single day and not go absolutely crazy. I wish that I could do it at like 7 o'clock in the morning and sleep in a little bit more. I just can't. There's too much content to do in the mornings. So thank you guys for being here. Another shout out to BetMGM. Click that link in the description. $10 onto an NHL money line. You'll get $200 in free bets for that one. That's it, though. Hardwood's the promo code. I'll be on the deeper dive, 4:45 to 6 p.m. tonight. Keep your eyes peeled to my Twitter right after the deeper dive. I will refresh all of my stuff after talking to Adam, and I will get my updated top 10s out probably around like 6:15 to 6:30 so that you guys can have some final looks. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Hope you're watching the UFC on Saturday. It's going to be fun. Good luck in football if you're doing it. Maybe I'll have some stuff up over the weekend for some NBA as well. I'll talk to you guys later, everybody. This was The Process.